Hello there. Okay, so today I am meeting you guys again from my bathroom. Unfortunately, you seem to actually visit here more often than you would like. But I want to talk to you today about how our dental health or oral health impacts our organ health, our body's health. It's such an incredibly important topic that we don't really seem to actually even understand or talk about enough. So that's the reason why I wanted to make this video. And we have been sharing some of the dental tips on our social media platforms as well, as to the foods that can actually help you with that, as well as the things that you can do and how important it is to take care of your teeth. One of the things that I want to straight off tell you is that you need to make sure that your children are brushing their teeth twice a day. This is one of the most easiest things that we can do, and one of the most healthiest things that we can do. And of course, the reason why I'm actually doing this live from my bathroom is because I want to show you some of the things that I use to make sure that our my teeth is healthy, my family's teeth is healthy, and our whole dental, not just teeth but also gums, they are healthy as well. So that's why I actually wanted to do this from here. Okay, so I'm not just taking you to my bathroom for no just no reason. It is specifically for a reason. Before I go into what products I use and how to take care of your teeth, I want to first tell you why it's important for you to take care of your teeth. What is it that you actually get out of it, and is it just for your teeth? And most people go to the dentist when there is some kind of a dental problem, like they have some pain, or they have swelling, they have bleeding in their gums. So for these kinds of reasons is when people actually go to the dentist. But what if I told you that your dental health has much more than just that? It's not just about, oh, I have pain, I have to take care of this. No, but it is because every single tooth is connected to so many different organs in your body. And we show this to a lot of our patients when we actually do certain kinds of testing, and how each tooth is connected, and how sometimes just problems in a particular tooth can impact an organ that they are affected with, how it's affecting it adversely. So for example, I had a patient with liver cirrhosis, and the liver cirrhosis pretty much was, I'm not saying that's the only reason, but it was a major reason was their teeth, because the teeth in the liver meridian was so severely affected. It was actually rotten, so to speak. And this person actually developed liver cirrhosis. So there were other reasons as well, but this was actually one of the primary reasons. And I want you to understand that's how crazy that can be. Another patient of mine, and this story will actually probably blow your mind, and it did mine. I could not believe that those things can happen, and people can actually have problems just from their teeth that much. So there was this one person that I was seeing at one point in time, and he had kidney failure. And he came to me because a lot of his family was getting benefits from natural medicine. He wanted to come in and see me, and I really thought that I'd actually heard it all. I've seen it all until this. And so I asked him, I looked at his teeth, and I was like, oh my God, your teeth are really in bad shape. When was the last time you went to the dentist? And we ask this question quite often in our practice, is what toothpaste do you use? What kind of oral rinse do you use? What kinds of products do you use? What toothbrush do you use? And all of that, because all of these things, of course, makes a difference. And we even ask as much as when it's children, do you brush your teeth twice a day? And when I asked that question, he said he doesn't remember to brush his teeth on a regular basis. And truly, that blew my mind. I did not think that I would ever hear something like that. And he said that he would brush his teeth occasionally and not really on a regular basis. That maybe he brushes his teeth once or twice a week if he remembers. And to be honest with you, that was one of those moments where I was like, wow, okay. But of course, there's no judgment against this person. That's not the reason I'm sharing this with you. because he actually didn't have any parents. He didn't really have anybody to teach him these kinds of things, and it's really sad, to be honest with you, because there are a lot of things that we think or we take for granted in our lives, and it's not really that easy. If we are not really taught some things, even the simplest of things that we think are easy for somebody, it's not really easy. So if you have had parents who have taught you good habits, you need to be really grateful for that. I am, because I have really, really good teeth, and that's because of my parents. They are the diet that they've actually taught me, the way to eat, and the way I take care of my teeth. All of those things contributes to it, and of course our dental health also contributes, or oral health contributes to our physical health, beneficially or adversely. So one of the things, going back to that person, is that he pretty much his kidney failure was also caused by his teeth, because pretty much every single tooth in his mouth was rotten. And this is a real story, obviously. So this is not something that I could even make up for sure. This is just something that was so intense, but real, true. So that's how our body is impacted. So if you think that, if you've been to doctors many times and you really don't know what's happening, and you don't know where your autoimmune condition came from, or you don't really know where the disease that you're having comes from, because all of your blood work looks perfectly normal and there's nothing abnormal about your blood work, and the doctor says everything's in your head, look at your teeth. It's not really, it is probably in your head because it's in your mouth, but look at your teeth. Okay, and I have seen that time and time again. And also, so this is something that I wanted to mention as well when we talk about teeth, is babies. So babies should not really be using pacifiers, sucking their thumbs, or any finger for that matter, or using bottles for long periods of time as well, because that adversely affects their oral health and their dental health as well. And when that happens for a long period of time, what that does is that actually makes them not grow their lower jaw as much, and when that happens, the airway also becomes smaller, contributing to adenoid enlargement, tonsils enlargement, and all of that. So we don't really want those kinds of things. And also in these children, what happens eventually is that they have overcrowding of teeth, which means that they need to have their teeth pulled out in order for them to have braces put in to make sure that they have enough space for all their teeth. Or they will have gum diseases, and there's overcrowding as well. And when that happens, many kids can actually develop certain kinds of diseases, including certain autoimmune conditions, because of what is done to the teeth. And hypothyroidism. This is actually one of the other common ones that happens when people actually remove teeth. So if you're someone who really needs some dental work, make sure you understand all these holistic aspects of the teeth, and not just choose a dentist who's going to just take care of that tooth alone, but really understands that there is so much more to it than just taking care of that tooth. And so what kinds of things you put in your mouth, whether it is the toothpaste you use, whether the brush you use, the oral rinse that you use, as well as the kinds of fillings you put in your mouth, like metal fillings, mercury fillings, the silver fillings that they put in. They don't usually do that anymore as much, thankfully. But those things are really, really bad for your body. In so many cases, we have seen patients with mercury fillings in their teeth, and we will actually ask them to get it removed. And once they get it removed, a lot of their autoimmune condition starts getting better. So it's such an interesting thing of how everything is connected. But if you think about it, everything is connected, isn't it? Somehow we actually have started believing it isn't. But to be honest, everything is connected. That should be the normal understanding. But we just keep hearing the opposite of it, I guess, so many times that we start wondering if it really is connected. And when we hear that everything is connected, we almost feel like somebody's telling us something that is not true. And everything is connected, and your teeth is too. So I wanted to show you today the products that I use, because this is again some of the things that I use that helps me keep my oral health and of course my physical health in good order. So I want to talk about toothbrush for a moment. I do know that I'm not a dentist, okay? So I'm not here to tell you anything about how to fix your teeth, but I'm trying to tell you things that helps you maybe keep them healthy in the first place, so that you don't really need more of dental work, and also maybe you don't really have any physical conditions that are coming from your teeth. Okay, so this is my toothpaste. So this is my toothbrush, and so this is from Burst. Okay, I love this toothbrush. Okay, better than Sonicare and all of those brands, because one, it's actually inexpensive. It's not that expensive at all. It's like $35 or something. Most people can afford to buy it. And I love electric toothbrush for a particular reason. One is, this is great for children, because children, have a hard time gauging the time and how long they need to brush. One. Second, they don't always go to every quadrant. Okay, so we have 4 quadrants. We need to go to every single quadrant, and usually we want to brush for at least 2 minutes. And when you're brushing for 2 minutes, each quadrant has to be 30 seconds. So it's very hard for children to gauge that, even adults, right? Most of us, when we're brushing our teeth, do we really pay attention to brushing our teeth? No. We are actually thinking about what do we have to do in the day, who do we have to meet, what meeting do we have, what am I going to cook, and things like this. So obviously when we are focused on something else, we don't even realize whether we are brushing properly. And sometimes even brushing can be such a meditative state. You can actually be just brushing and focusing on every single tooth as you brush, and that can become a form of meditation. It can be a beautiful thing. But this obviously makes it easy, because they have all these settings, and I usually like this top setting. And what it does is, obviously you can hear it go off. What it does is it actually makes this noise, the vibrating noise, and it actually vibrates for 30 seconds. And so which means that you actually go one quadrant, completely for 30 seconds, out and in. And because it's actually vibrating, what it does, it actually makes it easier for those little food particles in between that could actually come out easily as well. So even more than regular, toothbrush that we use, because it doesn't vibrate, and we do this. And if we don't, and if we are doing this specifically and not really, a circular motion around every tooth, what happens is we usually don't get all the debris in between the teeth. And, where sometimes it's stuck at the root of the tooth as well. So it's very important to understand that. And 30 seconds each quadrant means that it's almost a reminder for us to actually wake up when it actually stops and say, oh, okay, I need to move on to the next quadrant. Even though we are actually in a brushing coma sometimes, it still helps us to remind. So I like that about it. And kids, my kids have this as well, and they actually like brushing with it. So they do brush their teeth twice, even though they're a little older now. And I'm not actually checking to see if their toothbrush is wet. I used to do that before, to make sure that they're brushing their teeth twice a day. Now, because they like it, they actually brush their teeth on a regular basis. And this is something that I do on a regular basis. So toothpaste. Okay, so again, the products that we use, you have to understand that whatever you put in your oral mucosa or inside your mouth is getting absorbed. So if you take a medicine, how it gets absorbed, like homeopathic medicines especially, we just ask you to take it in your mouth and let it dissolve in your mouth. So what it actually does is it actually gets absorbed through your oral mucosa and enters your bloodstream straight. It doesn't even have to go into your stomach, get digested and all of those things. So obviously that means that all the other things that we put in our mouth as well gets through the oral mucosa into your blood. So you have to ask this question, is the product that I'm using in my mouth clean? Can it go into the blood and not cause any problems? Or is this going to cause any problems? So if it has things that are really not good for you, the product has all kinds of crazy chemicals that are not good for you, then it will actually go into your bloodstream. And if it goes into your bloodstream, obviously it's going to create an immune system response if it's not supposed to be there, because that's the job of the immune system. The job of the immune system is to make sure that anything that's inappropriate does not stay in your blood. So it's very easy to, make sure that we remove this by just using better toothpaste, okay? And also many toothpastes have fluoride in them, and a lot of dentists actually even recommend them, but it's more of a parroting of information over and over again, rather than really thinking about, is it necessary, is it good for us, and so on and so forth. One of the things that I'll tell you about is we don't ever do anything just for that particular organ, we do everything for the whole body. And what I mean by that is something is good for your teeth, but what is it doing for other organs? This is a question we need to start asking for everything we do. We can't do anything for one particular part of your body. You have to do everything for the whole of the body. So even though fluoride, they say, is good for the teeth, the problem is it's actually an iodine depleter. So our body has iodine which is necessary for our thyroid, and a lot of people are already deficient in iodine. And if we have fluoride in the toothpaste and that actually depletes iodine from your body, then we become even more deficient, contributing to more hypothyroidism. And we already have hypothyroidism that's pretty rampant. So I don't think we want to increase that problem in the society. Because of that, we don't really recommend paste with fluoride in them. We use toothpaste that are actually clean, that are made from herbs, and that even if you actually swallow it, it doesn't cause you any harm. That's how safe it needs to be, okay? It's safe enough to swallow. Not tastes better to swallow, but safe enough to swallow. So this is one of my favorite brands that I use. It's called the Dental Herb Company Tooth and Gum Essentials toothpaste. It's actually one of my favorite toothpaste. It's really, really, really good. This is actually a little strong, intense flavor. Children may or may not like it. So for them, I would actually probably recommend this. Fairy Wills coconut charcoal. This is also whitening. So this doesn't really have any strong flavor, so anybody can use this. This one has a strong flavor, so most adults can use it and teenagers can use it as well. My kids use it. My kids, they are 11 and 14 and they use the same toothpaste and they've been using it for a while. And I really, really, really love both of these toothpaste. They are really good. Okay, so we, use toothpaste like that, which is so clean that it doesn't cause any problems. And then the next thing that I want to talk to you about is oral rinse. Everybody must do an oral rinse. Okay, this is not optional. This is not something that you may or may not do. This is something that you must do because it makes a world of difference to protect your gums. It protects your gums from receding. It protects your gums from inflammation. And it also, because of those two things, what happens is bone loss happens in the jaw. This is very, very common as people get older. And so if you don't have these two, then you won't have the bone loss. So let's actually start with doing an oral rinse. Obviously, it also protects our teeth. It makes sure that our teeth are, free of cavities, make sure that it reduces the pathogenic load in our mouth so that, cavities don't form. So for all of those purposes, I love an oral rinse. Okay, this is something that we talk about in our practice quite regularly because health, our digestive system starts from our mouth. It really does not start from our stomach. It really starts in our mouth. So if we take care of things from here and then all the way in, then we'll have better health. So this is the product that I use. It's called as Pure O3 ozonated oil pulling solution. That's what this is called. I know the light is a little off and it's hard to see for some of you, but that's what it's called. Okay, so this is with peppermint. This is the product that I use every day, twice a day. And this one is something that my teeth got an amazing certificate from the dentist because of this product, because I've been doing an oral rinse with it for so long, and I also, brush twice a day. My dentist was impressed with my teeth and was, there's no dental work, nothing. I've never had any dental work done. And she was very impressed, and I really attribute this to the things that I'm doing, not really because of me or anything like that. And so obviously, which means that if I can do it, you can do it, let's just, pass on the good information so we all can emulate each other and learn and do better for ourselves, right? So, but that's actually something that kills ozone, kills pathogens, okay? Whether it is in the gums, whether it is in the teeth. So if you actually use something like that, what that's going to do is that's going to keep the load of pathogens on a regular basis low so that we don't end up with a problem later. So if you want to truly be preventative about your oral health, do an oral rinse every single day. So the way I do that is I do it 5 to 7 minutes twice a day before brushing. So I do like this, swishing with it. Okay, so what I do is I actually put it in my mouth. As soon as I wake up, I put it in my mouth, and then I don't stand here in front of the mirror and try to pass 5 minutes. That is the longest 5 minutes you have ever spent in your life. So what I do is I actually walk around, do things that I need to do. I usually put the water in the kettle, I'll make my bed, I'll do those kinds of things, and by the time I'll leave my dog out, let my dog out, I'll do all of those things, and by that point in time it's 5 minutes, and I'll come back, split it, and then brush my teeth. Okay, so such a simple, powerful thing. And so that's the one that I almost always recommend for people who have any kind of dental issues. I don't really have any dental issues now, but at one point in time I almost felt like this crawling sensation in my gums, and that's when I started using it, but I just love it so much that I just continued using it. But if you don't have any dental problems at all, and you do know that you don't have any dental problems, you still need to do an oral rinse, okay? And that one would be with this. So it's again Dental Earth Company. It's called Tooth and Gum Tonic. And this is actually this family size bottle, and I've had this for quite a long time. So this one is something that I actually use, or I used to use quite regularly. And now what I do is I actually pretty much use the ozonated oil. So this one is something that you can do as a maintenance pretty much, so if you don't have anything going on, and if you're done with doing ozonated oil for a while, and because the ozonated oil is a little expensive, to be honest with you, but this is not that expensive, and it actually goes a long way, this Dental Earth Company gum and tooth tonic. It's just a little bit that you need, and you just swish it around, and then you spit it out and brush your teeth again, and it works wonderfully. For children though, I always say that you might want to dilute it with a little bit of water, because it is quite potent. It's very, very strong, which is good, which is fantastic, which means it will go a long way for you. And you just want to use a little bit of it, or mix it with some water, and then actually give it to them so that they can do it. Okay, so adults sometimes actually find it very potent as well, and it makes them feel like they can't taste anything for a day or two. I didn't have that problem, but some people do. They have complained about that. So I do want to make sure that you understand that that could be the case. And if you find it too strong, you can absolutely dilute it, and it'll be still effective. So, okay, there's a question. I do oral rinse before or after tongue scraping. So you can actually do the tongue scraping, and then you can do the oral rinse, because that way, whatever is left, you can actually get rid of that as well. So I would suggest that way. Okay. So those are the products that I use, and they're just as simple as brushing and rinsing. And you can have great teeth, great smile, as well as you can actually have great health. And my goal always is to make sure that you do little things, simple things that you can do at home, or things that you're already doing, just better. And if you can do that, and you can actually have health just from those things, then there's nothing better, isn't it? So that's my goal. And, for you. Okay, so if there are no more questions, I'm going to sign off today. I really appreciate all of you joining me. Thank you so much. And I will see you in 2 weeks. And happy Diwali, everyone. So Indians. A lot of Indians, as well as, anybody who celebrates Diwali, it is the festival of lights. So for all of you and every single one of you, happy Diwali. Diwali is actually a time where it's a festival of lights. It's more about bringing light inside than the outside. It's beautiful that we can actually hang lights outside as well, but we also want to have light inside. So let's bring our lighter side out, and let's make this world shine through our lights, okay, through our inner light. What kind of floss do I use? I actually use a water floss, and I'm sorry, I don't have that here set up, but water floss is what I use. And the water floss, I actually put my this in there. I don't put the ozonated oil, never put that in there, but I put this one in there and actually do the water floss. Okay, so it's just a water floss that I use. I don't really like doing that. I've done that in the past. It's just not something that I was fond of. Okay, absolutely my pleasure, Kiran, always. Okay, so happy Deepavali, every single one of you. Let's make this world shine with our lights. Okay, lots of love. See you next time.